The Knicks have officially clinched the 3rd seed. And now New York's first round playoff matchup is set. It's going to be Jalen Brunson versus Cade Cunningham. The New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. We're also going to break down the key for the Knicks to stop Cade Cunningham in the postseason. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you have notifications on as well, too. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is to hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get started. The Knicks versus Pistons is set for the postseason. It didn't happen the way we wanted it to. But with the Pacers' loss last night, the Knicks have officially clinched the 3rd seed. Now, I did mention I didn't like the way the Knicks clinched the 3rd seed. That's because we did it with another team losing. We didn't win to do it. The same thing happened for the Knicks when we clinched the playoffs. Atlanta lost. That's the only way it happened. And I don't know about you guys, but clinching these things in a loss, it just doesn't feel the same way. But either way, it is now set. The New York Knicks will be taking on the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. Shout out to Knicks videos on the app X for giving us the following information. As you can see here, the official graphic is now out. You can see it from SNY. The Pistons versus the Knicks in the playoffs. Brunson versus Cade Cunningham. And if the other night was any indication on how this postseason matchup is going to go, it is going to be electric. It is going to be fire. And each and every game is going to have a playoff atmosphere that you're not going to want to miss. I cannot wait to see this matchup between the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, because this year, the Pistons, they have come to play. They are a way better team. They are physical, and they play each and every possession. The Knicks are going to have to be locked in and focused if they're going to want to beat Detroit. But let's continue here. Tom Thibodeau was asked about playing the Pistons in the first round. And here's what he had to say about that matchup. We know who the opponent is, and we know they're good, and we're going to have to be prepared for them. As I mentioned, the Detroit Pistons are a much better team than they were last year. They're coached better. They play harder, and they're extremely physical. They fight for nearly every possession, but they are a young team, and they're also inexperienced. And I think ultimately that's going to be their downfall. And that's where the Knicks are going to have the edge. Say what you want to say, but having postseason experience is very, very important. Understanding what it takes to get past the first round and get to the second round, when to turn it up, how to turn it up, and who to play late in game, what the rotations are going to look like. That is extremely important. Besides their head coach, the Pistons do not know what it means like to play postseason basketball, and the Knicks have to use that to their advantage, and I think that they will. If you're asking me straight up, will the Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons in the first round? My answer is absolutely yes. I think this series goes 6 games. It's competitive. Each and every game is close. It's physical, but the Knicks are able to pull out the victory. But going back to that physicality, I have to mention something. This Knicks team this year is nowhere close to the physicality level that we saw last year from that Knicks team. And we have to admit that, because that was the most evident the last game we played against the Detroit Pistons. That fourth quarter, we saw the Pistons do whatever they wanted to do to the Knicks inside. They were attacking. They were playing physical. They were taking it to the Knicks. And they turned New York into a jump shooting team. New York stopped attacking inside, probably for 2 main reasons. Number 1, the physicality. And number 2, they were not getting the calls. And if you continue to attack and you miss shots and you don't get calls and you continue to get hit, you're probably not going to want to continue to do that. Continue to get hit, not get the basket, and not get the call. And that's what happened the other night. And that can't happen again. We need to match their physicality level. If they're here, we need to be here. They can't be here here and we're over here in terms of physicality, because they are going to dominate us. They're going to beat us inside. They're going to beat us down. And then they're going to take the game. They're going to steal games. This cannot happen. We are a better team than this Pistons team. And we need to be able to show everybody that come the postseason. This Knicks team needs to have another level. And they need to find that other level fast. Because everything that we've been seeing, dropping leads, not being able to maintain leads, not being able to generate open three-pointers. How about not being able to defend the three? These are glaring issues, and New York has continued to suffer from them all season long. We need to make changes, and we need to make them fast. Not to mention, one of the biggest issues going into this series is a player that we've all seen on full display already. Cade Cunningham. That kid, he is special. He is a very good player. Gifted. Everybody knows that. The way for the Knicks to beat Detroit is to take him out of this series. So that begs the question, what is the key for New York to taking down Cade Cunningham and making sure we win this series? Well, shout out to SNY's Ian Bagley for giving us this following information. According to him, young Pistons star Cade Cunningham averaged 30.8 points, 8.3 assists, and 5 rebounds in 4 games against the Knicks this year. He hit 49 of 87 shots, 56%, and went 13 for 25 from 3 in those games, amassing 33 assists against 10 turnovers. That is insane. Those are superstar numbers. That guy is a problem. And he's been a problem for every team he's been facing against, but especially the Knicks. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to see Cade Cunningham versus Jalen Brunson, but I understand how much of a problem that guy is. So that means the Knicks are going to have to set their sights just on Cade. Not only on Cade, he's the biggest problem, but not the only problem. But they have to stop him. How do you stop Cade Cunningham? It's gonna be up to Wingstop. It has to be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. Bagley continues here by asking the following question. Who will guard Cade Cunningham in this series? If you ask Tom Thibodeau, he'd probably correctly say the Knicks will guard Cunningham as a team. But they will need OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to play stellar individual defense against Detroit's lead guard. To be fair, both Bridges and Anunoby have had strong offensive numbers against Detroit, and any evaluation of the two wings shouldn't ignore their strong play during Jalen Brunson's recent 4-week absence. OG Anunoby in particular was playing at a very high level on both sides of the ball. But the Knicks didn't spend immense capital on Bridges and Anunoby for their offense. They acquired both players to defend at a high level and supplement the offense around Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. And against the best teams in the league, unfortunately, that has not happened yet. But according to Josh Hart, the regular season is just the regular season, and the postseason is a new start for everybody. Here's what he had to say to Steph Bondy of the New York Post. According to Josh Hart, I'm always confident in this group. At the end of the day, playoff basketball is a totally different level from regular season basketball. Everyone starts at 0-0. Everything else is outside noise. We've got to focus on the guys we have in this locker room, doing what it takes to succeed as a team, not just as individuals, and execute it. And I think we have the character of guys to do that. Our character will be tested next week, and he's not wrong about that. But before we get back to the show, I want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, MyBookie. The Masters are back. The iconic golf tournament is finally here, and MyBookie has you covered to cash in on every swing, every upset, and every Sunday charge. MyBookie gives you so many opportunities to hit on long shot bombs, matchups, and even live betting opportunities. But wait, UFC 314 is also this weekend. Do you have a read on Volk versus Diego? My bookie will make sure that if there's an edge, you'll find it. And if you're new to my bookie, man, do I have an offer for you. Deposit any amount from $50 up to $2,000 and get half matched instantly by using promo code MM50. No waiting. You don't need to bet to get the money. Just bonus cash available right away. Whether the Masters are your thing or you have a really good read on Michael Chandler, my bookie has you covered to take advantage of every single result. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with my bookie. And now, let's get back to the show. We're going to need everybody to step up. Our wings are going to have to step up in a big way. They're going to need to be playing on an entirely different level. And we're going to need that, not only on offense, but also on defense as well, too. And New York's late game execution. The way we squander big leads. Our identity cannot be the team that loses big leads. It just cannot be the case. No team cares if New York has a big lead on them. You want to know why? Because time and time again, every single time, or at least most time this season, when we've had a big lead, we've lost that lead. So no team is scared about that. If New York goes up, I don't know, 23 points like we did last night against the Cavaliers, it won't matter because teams understand if they lock in and they focus at some point, if they continue to fight late in game, they'll give themselves the chance to come back into the game and potentially win it. And New York may not have an answer. And oftentimes, that's what we're seeing. We have to be better than that. If we get a lead, we have to keep the lead, maintain the lead. We have to understand and have that mentality of putting our foot on the opponent's throat and never letting it up until we win the game. We need that mentality. We need that physicality. We need that toughness. This is the postseason, and the Detroit Pistons are extremely tough, extremely physical. If we do not bring our A game, they're going to upset us. And I do not want that to happen. We need to be better as a team, but we have a lot of issues to fix. Not only the physicality, but the way we defend the three, the amount of threes that we take, it's just ridiculous. Not to mention New York and their overhelping. The amount of times I have seen either Josh or Jalen or Deuce help on another player, and then it frees up a shooter, frees up a cutter, frees up somebody open in the mid-range. I don't even have the amount of time available to go through each and every single one of those scenarios. It feels like it's endless. That's how many times we allow it. It can't happen that way. You can help, just don't overhelp. There's a balance to it, and the Knicks need to find it, because if they continue to play the way they've played in the regular season, if they don't have another level, then they are going to reach a ceiling very early in the postseason. And that ceiling is getting beaten down by the Pistons. I don't want to see that. I want to see this Knicks team beat down Detroit because we can. Beat them so bad that we can sweep them because we can. We have the talent to do it. Everybody knows it. The problem? We sometimes play down to the competition, and other times we don't rise up. Even though on paper, New York should win, even though I believe New York will win, it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy by a long shot. And if we don't come prepared, they're going to upset us. New York, lock in, focus. Playoff basketball is next weekend. It'll be the Knicks versus the Pistons, and we better come to play. But what about you guys? What do you think about this official announcement indicating that the Knicks will take on the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.